my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Oh, big time, big time, big time, big time. That's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, double nine. Got it in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the Wednesday edition of the Power Hour. DJ is on the road to Sandusky to cover Crestview State semifinal tonight in boys soccer. But I'm here with you, and we have Bunsen, we have Rob Moose, and we do have Scotty. He'll be sharing a screen with me. So Scotty's here in the captain's hat.
Yeah, had to roll with
Scotty over there with the hat on.
Today, look good, and then maybe your team will play good. That's what I'm hoping this weekend.
Love the hat, Scotty.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
Paul, do we have a national day today? I was not given one.
Oh, you weren't given your duties here. Yeah, I'll pull up our national day. I apologize for the noise here as I am up here monitoring baseball, so I'll mute myself here for just a second.
Baseball practice in November.
Yeah, that's literally all you can hear too.
It's National Hot Fudge Sundae Day.
Ooh, Hot Fudge Sundae. Yay or nay, Scotty, on Hot Fudge Sundae?
Oh, yeah, I'm all about it. I got a big sweet so I love a good Hot Fudge Sundae. What I like even better, though, is a butterscotch. I know people call me an old man, but I like the butterscotch sundaes you could get at like Dairy Queen. So yeah,
Butterscotch.
I'm all about it.
Well, you, Paul, what's the favorite hot fudge sundae in the valley?
In the area?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess for me, I mean, really, it's just Dairy Queen. Like Dairy Queen, that's it. That's what I grew up on right there in North Lima. So
our friend Gary.
Yeah, I'd go with Dairy Queen, and it's just straight hot fudge sundae, vanilla ice cream, smother it with hot fudge, and I'm ready to go.
Rob, what's your take on these hot fudge sundae, and what's the best hot fudge sundae you've ever had?
I don't know. The best one I've ever had? I can't even think. I'd probably just play the part and go with Dairy Queen as well.
I think this is a franchise day. We're going to go with Dairy Queen. It's boring, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, they're consistent with them, right? So
We got to stick with our good friends over at the Lisbon Dairy Queen, too. Gary Leininger and all the work he does for us. So
I see Kate talking about adding peanut butter sauce to it. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'm not a fan of like peanuts or anything in my ice cream. So definitely not no peanuts or anything like that on there. So but yeah, Handles has got great ice cream just in general. But when you go with the hot fudge sundae, I always think of Dairy Queen. So
yeah, I don't like nuts. I don't like sprinkles on ice cream. Anything that's like it's supposed to be a creamy texture. Anything that takes away from that creaminess, I don't really want a part of it.
Crunch Coat is by far the best thing you get at Dairy Queen.
I like the
like the eyes and the twist cone or whatever.
Dilly bars are my favorite.
That's an OG Dairy Queen right there. Rob, what about our Would You Rather today? You got something locked up? Let's go with it.
All right. Let's go with. Where's the hat? All right. I don't know if we ever did this before, but would you rather play? And we're talking about football here. Would you rather play on Thanksgiving Day or New Year's Day?
Play on Thanksgiving Day or New Year's Day for football? Well, New Year's Day would be playoffs, right? I mean, and if you're playing on New Year's Day and you're in the playoffs, I would rather play on New Year's Day.
I'd say New Year's Day. I would think that would be a little more exciting. I know there's a ton of teams that play on Thanksgiving, and it's kind of a traditional game to play on. But I'd rather play on New Year's Day. I mean, that's bowl season, playoffs. I'd rather go that route.
Has Thanksgiving become less of a honor to play on Thanksgiving and more of a, okay, we're playing the Cowboys, here it is,
Oh, either I don't know if I call it an honor anymore. I mean, they got the Detroit Lions playing every Thanksgiving,
right,
and everybody's pretty much bummed about that game. So
I don't know if it's like a case of it's just like here it is, but it might be because prior to this year, I mean, the Cowboys are off to a really good start aside from last week, but both of the teams, the Lions and the Cowboys, have been pretty irrelevant for a while. I mean, the Cowboys, you have to go back to the 90s. The Lions, even in the 90s when they had Barry Sanders, I think they only made like one legit like postseason run, if I can remember correctly. So, but I don't know, like, it'd be awesome playing on New Year's Day because that means, playoffs or you've advanced really, really far. But I just always think about those players after that Thanksgiving Day game getting that big turkey leg, and I'm like, yeah, that looks so delicious. I would want that. So I would probably pick playing on Thanksgiving still.
Tangent. I saw on social media today, someone was claiming that Thanksgiving ham is better than Thanksgiving turkey, and I'm
way.
It's like blasphemy on that one.
That is total blasphemy in my book.
It would be two things.
Always ham. Thanksgiving's always turkey, and Christmas is ham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't be stepping on other people's holidays.
If I had to pick, if I was playing on Thanksgiving or New Year's Day, well, I mean, first of all, if I'm playing on Thanksgiving, that means I've made it to the NFL. So I'm probably doing pretty good for myself. Secondly, me personally, I don't think I'd want to play any kind of football game if I was hungover as hell. So I got to go with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like Yes, everyone's watching on New Year's Day because a lot of people are hungover after the New Year's Eve. But everyone's watching on Thanksgiving too, especially after
I don't
they
know.
all that turkey and the tryptophan kicks
If
in.
you're the
I'll tell you what, the games actually might not be that bad this year. You got the Bears at the Lions. I mean, whatever that one. But the Raiders at the Cowboys, that might be a decent game. And then the Bills at the Saints. So football might not be too bad this year. We'll see.
It's always that third game that they put in to try to make it a premier matchup. Bills Saints.
Yeah.
But by then, you're stuffed with food. You're gone. Like I'm gone by 8:00 on Thanksgiving.
Well, if you squeeze a nap in there somewhere, then
Nap
you
during
watch
the
the
Lions
first
game.
game.
See,
Watch the
that's
first
what I
game,
do.
nap around the second game, and then you're up for the third game.
Yeah, that's what I do. Nap earlier.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a nap person. If I do a nap and then I wake up, I feel like 10 times worse than I did when I went to sleep.
That's if it's a long nap. If it's a long
power
one,
naps.
yeah, I'm screwed. Yeah, if you take a quick one, you'd be all right.
Yeah, a good power nap, a good 25, 30-minute nap. Get up, ready to go.
What's the threshold of power nap versus too long?
Anything past like a half hour is too long.
So we're going like with those sea fishermen that just sleep at a half an hour at a time to work their 24-hour days.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like anything close to an hour, that's not. I don't require that as being a nap. I'd say that's like you went to sleep for a while. So naps are half hour, power nap in there. You're good to go.
Power nap on the power hour. Paul, it is Wednesday, and on every Wednesday we do our NFL picks, and I know you take the reins for that. So what have you got for us, and what are some of the best spreads this week that you think we should pick?
All right. Well, we'll just start right off the bat with our first game. Our first game is Baltimore at Miami, and the Dolphins are getting 7.5. So, listen, I'll go first here. I'm going to take Baltimore. I think they're showing what they can do. So I like Baltimore. I mean, 7.5 is not terrible, but I'll take them.
Give me the Ravens. I think 7.5. Even though it's in Miami, I think that's plenty for the Ravens to have.
Scotty?
I think here, I don't know. I just have this funny feeling. It would happen to the Patriots all the time. I know the Ravens aren't a divisional opponent, but you go down to Miami, have a sloppy game. Plus, the Ravens, and pretty much all their wins are right down the wire. I think the Dolphins are going to want to show some fight here at home. I do like the Ravens to win this game, but I like the Dolphins to cover with that point spread.
Okay. Rob?
I was kind of thinking along the same lines as Scotty. This it almost seems like a setup game. I'm going to pick the Ravens, but I'm a little leery of this one.
All right. Next game we have is Atlanta going to Dallas, and Atlanta is getting 9 points. So, Rob, what do you like here in this one?
Well, I'm sorry, you said the Falcons?
Yep. Falcons and the Cowboys at Dallas. Falcons getting 9.
I'm going to pick the Falcons to cover that.
All right, Scotty?
I think the Cowboys will win, but I think it's close.
This one I'm gonna not go with the team getting the points. I think Dallas is gonna come out and they're gonna come out with a lot of energy, and I think they're gonna wanna show the world that last week was just kind of like a fluke game. Maybe Prescott was a little rusty. But I like the Cowboys to win by at least 10 here, if not 14, a couple of touchdowns. So I think they'll cover the spread. Give me Dak in the Cowboys.
This is an under-the-radar Falcons team. I mean, if the playoffs started right now, the Falcons would be in the NFC, which I don't think anyone really expected coming into this season. I mean, the Falcons are contesting for a playoff spot, but here we are. I think that spread's too big. I'm going to take the Falcons to win. Well, not win, but win cover the spread.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won, though, either. So,
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas here. I think they win by, 10, 14 points. I think they can put this one away. They're at home. I mean, not that that meant anything last week. Some of the teams that were home that we all thought were going to walk away with it ended up getting beat up. So
last week was absolutely crazy, though. Oh, that was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if you picked better than 500 last week, God bless you, because I think only one or two people did, and it was insane. So
what were our standings for last week? We never got that on the group message.
You had to ask me that, so I'll go back here and I'll fill everybody in here real quick. So last week, Billy went 7-7. Quinn went 9-5. I went 6-8. Scotty was 7-7. Anthony, you were 7-7. DJ went 5-9. Sigler was 6-8, and Rob was 5-9. So, I mean, it was just a crazy, crazy week. Gosh, I might have.
I'll tell you what, nobody picked the Bills to go crap the bet against the Jaguars like that either.
Oh, but I think me and DJ both picked the Jaguars to at least beat the spread.
What was that? That spread was pretty decent too.
It's a big spread.
The Jaguars were 14.5, and it was Anthony, Billy, and DJ. The only three that took took Jacksonville. Sorry. So, see here, we are at New Orleans going to Tennessee, and New Orleans is going to get 2.5. And I like Tennessee right now. I like seeing AP back there again, doing some business. So.
Yeah, I don't even Trevor Siemian, a quarterback in New Orleans right now. They're kind of in disarray, probably looking for someone in free agency. I've heard some rumors that Phillip Rivers might be shooting up as a Saint. I don't know. That's shifty. No, I'm going to take the Titans in this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Saints is OBJ's next landing spot. But anytime you're talking about Trevor Siemian in a game, I like the other guy. And even before the Titans' impressive win on Sunday Night Football against the Rams, I think you got to consider Mike Vrabel for Coach of the Year, because as bad as that defense was last year, they did make the playoffs, but they're looking like a great team right now. And AP, he's a guy that looks like he could still have something left in the tank. So give me the Titans here.
I'm gonna go with the Titans as well. I think they looked pretty good last week.
Now we go to that team you guys just talked about a minute ago, the Jaguars, going to Indianapolis, and another big spread. Jaguars are getting 10.5. Rob?
Kind of nervous about this one, but I'm going to go with the Colts.
This is another big spread game. The underdog team getting double digits in the points. The Colts, again, they have talent, just a little too inconsistent for me. Jags are coming off a big win. I think it said quite a lot about Urban Meyer, and maybe he didn't totally lose that team in the locker room. So I think the Colts do probably win this game, but I like the Jags to cover the spread here.
I'm going to ride with the Jaguars. They didn't steer me wrong yesterday. Last week. So I'll take the Jags too.
I don't know if the magic carries over another week for them. I think that the Colts They're playing well right now, and they had a good game last week. And I think they can cover that 10.5. So I'm going to take the Colts there myself and take them covering that 10.5 points. So now we go to a local team for some of our fans here, Cleveland, going to New England, and Cleveland is getting points. They're getting 1.5. So
I guess I'll start
Not a
with
good start. He's the local Browns.
yeah.
him and Rob. I mean, I got no horse in this race. So unless I'm going to take Cleveland. They looked good last week. They played the Bengals and they beat them. So I think they're riding high after getting rid of OBJ. And this is what I told people last year. You are going to be better off without OBJ. And a lot of Browns fans thought I was crazy, told me I was an idiot. No, we need him. He's a power. He can help take the top off of defense. And the year they had him, nothing. The year they didn't have him, we make the playoffs. Now you don't have him anymore, and he was a distraction. And now you're going to win some games. I think this might have been the thing that rights the ship here a little bit for Cleveland. So
I was going to say, they didn't beat Cincinnati. They beat the crap out of them.
Well, okay. So there you go. I say Cleveland wins. Give me Cleveland plus 1.5.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just kind of like hard to explain why the Browns have been better with OBJ off the field. But if you look at last week and the games prior to that, I mean, the numbers back it up. Baker's been a better quarterback. The offense just flows better. I feel like this wouldn't be a lock, but I'd feel a lot better if Nick Chubb wasn't in COVID protocol right now. That being said, if the Browns do have to lean on Dearness Johnson, I don't think he's a superstar, but I think he's a more than capable running back. And I think he could start on some bad teams in the NFL. So I like the Browns to get the win here. Patriots have the better, more seasoned coach, but Baker going against the rookie quarterback, I like the Browns here.
What worries me is, was last week for Cleveland kind of fool's gold? I mean, they were playing a Cincinnati team that obviously struggled the week before as well. Something's going on in Cincinnati. They hit a little bit of a snag in a young team trying to kind of right the ship. And the one thing that Bill Belichick always does is take away what you do best as an offense. So I'm sure he's going to slow down that Cleveland run game. They haven't played well in close games. This game's going to be close. I'm going to take the Patriots to win. I feel like Baker's going to have to make throws down the stretch to win the game, and he has not proven that he's able to do that in close games in the fourth quarter yet this year. So why would I choose to pick him to do it now?
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about New England's secondary too. Definitely want to see Cleveland keep going, so we're going to go for the Browns.
All right. Matchup here in the AFC against two conference teams. Buffalo going to the Jets. And there's another big line here. The Jets are getting 12.5. Rob?
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know what it is with Jets and their backup and third-string quarterbacks, but they just come out of the gates, and they look like they've been playing in the NFL for years. I watched that, what's his name? I want to say Johnson. And, I mean, he just looked phenomenal. He threw like 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards, I think. I'm gonna pick the Jets to cover. I think this is a close divisional game, though.
I think, I so bad. Part of me says, this is going to be a big bounce back week for the Bills. The thing that really concerns me, though, about Buffalo is last week they had 2 starting offensive linemen out. I don't know the status of those linemen as of today, but I mean, it's pretty simple. Games are won in the trenches, and I'm not saying I don't expect the Jets to win this game, but 12.5, that's an awful lot of points. And we're not knowing the status of the Bills O-line. I think the Jets, I think the Bills bounce back, but it's closer. It's a little too close for comfort for them. I think it could be a game in the fourth quarter, but the Bills get the win, but I like the Jets to cover.
I'm kind of with Scotty on this one. I think this is going to be a bounce back game for the Bills. I think they're going to win the game. But I don't think you fix all the problems they had last week in 1 week. I don't think you can fix everything. I feel like this is going to be a close game. The Jets are obviously very familiar with the Bills. It's a divisional game, so no secrets at all between the two teams. I feel like the Jets are going to be able to beat that spread. Probably not win the game, but definitely 12 and a half is a lot to try to overcome.
Up until last week, Buffalo had big spreads, and they were able to cover them. Like I said, last week was the first time they didn't cover a big spread. I mean, it was 14 and a half, and obviously we saw what happened with the Jaguars. Jaguars won that game outright. And I believe they're going to bounce back as well. I think they're going to play well. 12 and a half is a lot of points. I'm going to even this thing up because Billy took Buffalo, Siggs took Buffalo, you three all took the Jets. So I'm going to even it up here, and I'm going to take Buffalo. I think they bounce back and they cover the 12 and a half. So we've got an even split here on this game. So going into our next game is another local game. Actually, it's a matchup between two of our YSN guys. It's Detroit going to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's giving Detroit 9 points.
They're both on the road together too. Right now.
They are riding together right now. Battling that one out on the road. So, I mean, Detroit's not as bad as people are giving them. Like, people are just dogging on them really bad, and they've had some good games. And Pittsburgh had a chance to put that game away the other night, and they didn't. They let them come back in it. So I think 9 points is a lot. I'm going to go with the Lions in this game. I like Detroit to at least cover, not win, but I think they're going to cover with the 9.
I'm right there with you. I mean, Detroit has lost a lot of close games, a lot of heartbreakers. Pittsburgh, they've been winning, give them credit, but they haven't been blowing people out of the water by any stretch of the imagination. So I think, perception kind of makes this spread, not reality. I think the perception of the Lions, perception of the Steelers kind of makes it a 9-point spread. But I think the Lions will keep this game close like they always pretty much do. And like they always also do, they'll find ways to lose the game down the stretch.
In a way, I hate to say this, but also another part of me says it's kind of like a reverse jinx thing. I remember, and I know it's preseason and you can't take much from it, but these two teams squared off in the preseason and the Steelers flat out dominated. I think the Steelers being at home and just the fact that TJ Watt is just such an animal, such a monster. He could have another 3-sack, 4-sack game. And the Lions, they've had a lot of close losses, but you know what? Bad teams find a way to lose. So I don't know. Something's funny about this game. It tells me that the Steelers are going to cover here, but I'm only saying that because I want to go reverse jinx on them. But give me Pittsburgh.
We'll see if you reverse jinx on them, Scotty. Then if you pick Detroit to win, Detroit covers and wins, then you're okay. Now you're picking Pittsburgh. What if they just win the game but don't cover? Then you lose.
Yeah, that's true too. They could win and not cover, but I don't know. I guess for my record, I need a bounce back after only going 500 next week, and I just don't trust the Lions' offense against that Squiller D. So solely for the sake of my record, I'll stay on Pittsburgh.
Rob?
I think this matchup's actually set up for Detroit. And the way they've been playing in these close games, I think Pittsburgh's like a team they can actually beat. And I think the Lions can win this game. So I'm going to go with them to definitely cover. I mean, of course, Pittsburgh, you can't ever count them out right now, but I'm going to go with the Lions.
It's in Detroit.
It is in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Pittsburgh too. I'll still pick the Lions as a pick, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, Scotty right now the only one taking Pittsburgh. Everybody else took Detroit in the points. So
it's a big spread.
Scotty, you're the lone wolf, man.
Lone wolf. Oh,
there it is.
Tampa Bay at Washington, and again another big spread. Redskins getting 9.5 at home. Rob?
I'm going to go with the Bucs on this one.
yeah. I can't go against Tom Brady. You look at this matchup: Tom Brady versus Taylor Heineke. I don't know. Washington, to me, they've been an underachiever all season, and I think it's mostly because I expected more out of the defense. I don't think their defense has been as good as I thought it was going to be. And we know what Tom Brady does when he sees a defense that's vulnerable, where there's weaknesses. So I'm not betting against the GOAT. Give me the Bucs here.
9 points, right, Paul? 9.5?
9.5.
In Washington.
In Washington.
And the Bucs are dealing with some injury issues. I'm going to take Washington to beat that spread. I'll take it. I think their defense is good enough to hold Tampa Bay to a low enough score that they can be competitive. And hey, last year in the playoffs, Taylor Heineke did really compete really well against Tom Brady. So I'm going to take the football team.
Paul Munson still calls them the Skins.
I sure do, and I'm gonna call them the Redskins again because listen, I agree with you, Ant. I mean, 9.5 is a lot right now, and I was trying to go back to see like who all they've played and lost to. I mean, they've lost to Denver, they lost to Green Bay, and it was 7 points, 14 points. The Chiefs dominated them. The Saints, they beat the Falcons. They only beat them by 4. They got housed by the Bills. They squeaked by the Giants. And then, they barely got beat by the Chargers. So I'm looking at that with Washington, and I'm just like, they can keep it close with some of these teams. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I want to pick them to win. When they've played anybody worth their salt, they've kind of like gotten beat up. But I think being at home, they lost a close one to Denver last week, and Denver's right there as a bad team. So, but I don't know. 9.5 at home. I'm still going to take them. So let's see. Carolina at Arizona. I mean, some of these this year, man, this is one of the years spreads have just been crazy that I've been seeing. Carolina at Arizona, and Carolina's getting 9.5. So another 9.5 point spread.
Is Kyler Murray back?
I don't know, but I'm not going against Arizona, especially being at home. So I like Arizona here.
Yeah, either way, I just think the Panthers early on, that was fool's gold, like to the max. Their 3-0 start. So I just don't think they're very good at all. So give me Arizona, whether Kyler Murray plays or not.
Devil's advocate. I mean, the Panthers are getting Christian McCaffrey back, I believe. That'll be a big boost to their offense because he's one of the best running backs in the league.
They need it too.
I'm still taking Arizona.
How effective is he going to be, though, in his first game back? He might have to shake off some rust.
It's Christian McCaffrey. He's got no rust. He doesn't rust.
Sam Darnold looks so bad right now. I got to take the Cards too.
He looks like a
he's out too, isn't he?
He probably should be.
Yeah, I think he got hurt. I think he's out for this game.
Oh, the Panthers are begging.
So Rob, you gonna sweep this thing up and take Arizona as well?
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody took Arizona in that game. Minnesota going to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, and Minnesota is getting 2.5 points. So, I mean, they like the Chargers in this game, but not by like what your traditional thing is when you say like a home team is always favored by 3 points. Well, they're only favored by 2.5. So, Rob, what do you like in this game?
I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm gonna go. Give me some Skull Vikings. I mean, they're probably the best like bad team in the NFL. They just all these close losses every week. They're in the game and they have a chance to win. So why should this week be any different against a Chargers team that started really hot, but they've had some inconsistencies, ups and downs, hit some bumps in the road. So I like the Vikings getting the points. I think this game will be right down to the wire again.
I mean, I would love it if the Chargers lose. It's shaping up that division for us, right, Paul?
That's right.
Get the Chargers out of there. No, I'm gonna pick the Vikings. I'm right with Scotty. They've been right in games. There's no reason to think they won't be competitive against the Chargers team that hasn't looked quite as hot as they have in the beginning of the season. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Vikings to at least keep it close.
I like the Chargers here. I think they're just a little bit better than Minnesota. I listen to that. Minnesota, there's some distractions there right now. Dalvin Cook with some of his off the field issues right now could be a little bit distracting to him. So hopefully they can get that ship righted, pun intended, with the Vikings. But it's not going to happen this week. The Chargers are going to take them. So that's what I take on that one. Philadelphia going to Denver, and Philadelphia is going to get 2.5 points in this one.
I think the Eagles, despite how good Denver looked last week, I think that was more of the Cowboys just being caught with their pants down. I still think there's a lot wrong in Denver, and they're still not a good football team. And I'm going to take the Eagles to what was it, 2.5?
Yeah, Eagles are getting 2.5. You're just doing that because it's another AFC West team.
Yeah,
You don't want to see them win.
There might be some reasoning to that. I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Denver's been a shit show this year. And Philadelphia, like I said, I think that was just a little bit of a fluke for them. But, I mean, Denver being at home, I'm going to take Denver myself in this game.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Eagles myself.
It's just always tough to play in Denver, and with the Eagles being, they're pretty far from a juggernaut themselves. I just think coming off a big win in Dallas, and now you get to go home, I just think they have some momentum right now, Denver, and they have a pretty good fan base, and they get pretty loud there, and the altitude going to playing Denver. Give me the Broncos here.
So you have no worries that like Denver will be a little bit big-headed after beating the Dallas Cowboys and come in and lazily against the Eagles at home.
No, I don't. I mean, how can you be big-headed?
Just beat like a 6-1 Dallas Cowboy team.
But that was their first win in like 4 weeks. So you can't really be big-headed after you went 1-3 or whatever the previous 4 weeks. So I don't know. I just like them at home. I see what you're trying to do, man. Because you want those everyone to slide, crumble, but you're not gonna break me, man. I like.
Change mine to the Broncos.
See that?
I guess I'm the lone wolf with the Eagles then, right?
No, Billy actually took Philly as well. So Billy liked Philly.
Did it actually?
Seattle going to Green Bay, and Seattle's going to get 4 points. So Green Bay.
I believe Russell Westbrook's coming back, right, for this one.
Is Russell back?
I'm pretty
He's
sure he
back
is. Yeah.
this week. Yep.
He's back. Rodgers is back. I'm going to take the Pack, though. I think their defense is still very good. So Russell Wilson coming right back off of an injury, trying to get back into the flow against one of the better defenses in the NFC. Not going to be a fun day for Russell Wilson. I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, I kind of, to echo Anthony, I think it could be a small mountain to climb for Russell in his first game back. And he's a really good player, don't get me wrong. At times he's been phenomenal, but this being his first game back against that defense, and then you got Aaron Rodgers on the other side, who's been terrific again this season. Just too much to me in this game screams Packers. So I'm going to stick with the Pack.
I like Green Bay as well. I mean, they're at home, and like I said, Russell coming back his first game, you got to shake that rust off a little bit, and it's going to be tough to do that against the Green Bay defense. So I like Green Bay in this game.
My newfound respect for Aaron Rodgers has nothing to do with the fact that I'm picking the Packers to cover this one and beat them up.
All right, a game near and dear to Anthony and I's heart. Sunday Night Football. Kansas City going to Sin City, going to Vegas, take on the Raiders. The Raiders are home dogs. The Raiders are getting 2.5 points in this one. Obviously, everybody knows where I'm going on this. I think it's disrespectful that the Raiders are underdogs in this game. I know they just lost to the Giants, but last week was a shit show for everybody. Like, teams who you thought were going to win, didn't cover. Teams you thought were going to lose, won and covered. So, I mean, it was just a maniac show. I still don't think Kansas City's righted the ship. I still think they're a little lost on where they need to be because, if the playoffs started today, they don't even make the playoffs, right?
No, they're not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think they go to Vegas and get a win. So, I'm saying no. Give me the Raiders.
I think, this isn't like last week where the spread was big enough where I could say, well, the Chiefs aren't keeping games close. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game. They need it bad. It's a divisional opponent. It's Raider week. And the more I see that the defense is getting healthy, Frank Clark is starting to make a lot of plays. And they've been able to put Chris Jones back in the middle of that defensive line where he thrives. So I think the Chiefs will get this win. Shocker there, right?
Yeah. I already typed it in. I didn't even need to listen to you.
A bombshell there.
Yeah, I didn't pick them last week.
But I don't know. We talked about it earlier on Running Point, Anthony. You would think at some point this KC offense is just gonna bust out and put up 40 again. But to me, something stinks with this offense right now, and their defense. I mean, I think suspect is being very kind. If you want to call their defense suspect, that's very kind. So I hate to do this to you, bro. I know we're wheelchair bros.
Don't make me roll over there.
We're wheelchair bros, but I got to go with Paul and his Raiders, man. I especially in Vegas, that crowd is gonna be crazy on a primetime game like that, national TV.
It's not the black hole it used to be. Let's be honest.
It's gonna
not
be
Oakland.
crazy there. So give me the Raiders.
I don't think either. I mean, if you look at their wins this year, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders, they're just not very impressive at all. Paul, I don't know what happened last week against the Giants. I didn't really see the highlights too much. I actually do think Yeah, no, but I think that this is still a very good divisional game this weekend. Especially being prime time. In Vegas. I would in this game. I would basically right at this point. You could go either way on it. Neither team's a lock. I'm going to go with the home team. So I'm going to support Paul on this one.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at it, like Rob, you were sitting there talking about looking at their wins. For the Raiders, okay, they lost to the Giants, they beat an Eagles team, they beat the Broncos, they lost to the Bears, then they lose to the Chargers, but then they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Steelers, and they beat the Ravens. So I mean that's been their wins. But then you turn around, you look at Kansas City, lose to the Packers, they squeak by the Giants. Lose to the Chiefs.
We didn't lose to the Packers.
No, they beat the Packers.
They beat the Packers.
Without Rodgers.
Sorry, beat the Packers. My bad. Yeah, beat the Packers. You squeak by the Chiefs. Lose to the Titans. You beat Washington. You lose to the Bills. You beat the Eagles. Chargers catch you. The Chiefs catch you. And, you get by the Browns in week 1. So, I mean, it's like you said, Rob, there's really no, world beaters in there in some of those games. And, the games they were winning earlier in the season and getting by a couple of those teams, they played tough, but then all of a sudden, where did they go wrong? They just all of a sudden went off the rails after that Washington game, and the Titans and Giants and Packers, and it's just kind of this is one of those games. It's rivalry week for it depends on who you root for. Even in college football, when it's a rival, you get up and play. I mean, especially for a divisional game, you're going to get up, you're going to play, and it's going to be a battle. And listen, I think last year it was the opposite. They lost at home and then they won on the road. So I think they change it up this year and they win both of them.
If you think about it, the Chiefs really haven't been the Chiefs since the Browns game. They look like the way the Kansas City Chiefs should have looked in week 1, and then it just seems like ever since then we're realistically talking about an entirely different football team. And the proof is, preseason we all picked them to win the Super Bowl. And now we're talking about them possibly missing the playoffs.
Hurts.
I think the Ravens game was a good game for them. I mean, they only lost by a point, and they put up 35.
They fumbled the game away.
Then they come right back the week later and they lose to a division game. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But when you play somebody in your division and a team that they both dislike each other an awful lot. So.
I think that this is the best game of the weekend, though. I think.
Well, and that's your Sunday night game, and and the Raiders like those spotlight games. They play well on Monday night, and they play well on Sunday nights too. So, and your last game of the week is Monday Night Football, and it's the Rams going to San Francisco. The Niners are at home, and they're underdogs by 4 points.
What did you say the spread on that was?
4. The Niners are getting 4 points. Rob, who do you like?
I'm going to go with the Rams on that one.
I got to go with the Rams too. It's I don't know, since that Super Bowl loss, man, Anthony's Chiefs, the Niners, I know they've had a lot of injuries too played a part, but it's is Kyle Shanahan even a great coach anymore, a genius like everyone thought he was? I just don't know. The Rams, it was a bad performance last week, and it showed they're not unbeatable either, but they've just been more consistent. So give me the Rams here.
Yeah, I think the Rams defense is going to win this game for them. And I think 4 points is enough for them to cover the spread. If it was a little bit bigger and it was in San Francisco, I would say, and it is in San Francisco, but if it was a little bit bigger, I'd be like, maybe I'll take the Niners. But
Von Miller should be playing in this game, right?
Yeah.
I want to see what that dude does with what's his face? You know what I'm talking about. Aaron Donaldson or whatever.
Yeah, the two Aaron Donald, the defensive guys. I mean, that's going to be a scary defensive line for anybody to have to face right now. I mean, I like the Rams as well in this game, and I think that Cooper Kupp has just been unbelievable for that offense right now, and I think they just go and they take care of business and not have to worry about it. Show off on Monday Night Football.
Hey, look, we have a phone call.
Can you answer it?
How did I answer it?
Do it, answer it.
We got pranked. You're on live on YSN. Who do we got?
Hello. Please don't hang up. ST Data
It's a
has been
telemarketer.
trying to reach you to verify your business with Google.
Keep her on. I'll talk to her.
Business does
Hello.
not-
Don't hang up.
Press 1 now so we can verify your business with Google. If you are the business owner, press 1 now. Your account
Not the business owner. Got to hang
Not
up.
the business owner.
That's right. So that was it. That was all of our games for this week. And we got through it, and in just enough time for our spark, right?
Yep, Joe Geeky Electric. What's your spark? Brought to you by our good friends over at Joe Geeky Electric. And I guess we'll start with Scotty across the table from me. Scotty, what you got today?
I guess my spark would be a negative and a positive mixed in one. And I guess I'm going to say the old saying goes, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And I just think I got really excited last year when I saw the news that the Browns signed guard Wyatt Teller, who a lot of people think is the best guard in football, to a 4-year extension. And then shortly after that, you see the news that Nick Chubb, along with Demetric Felton, got placed on the COVID list. So it's kind of like one's a positive, and I'm happy about. The other one makes me a little more nervous now for this New England game, but Dearness Johnson's going to have to step up. And Baker, it's your time if it's close to lead a game-winning drive. Let's go. I'll keep the confidence. So that's my positive / negative spark for the week.
Sounds like a typical Browns fan. You got some positives, you got some negatives.
But can't those guys? They need 2 negative tests within 24
In a
hours.
24-hour span.
Well, he needs 2 before Sunday, doesn't he? I thought it was
Yeah.
before Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I mean, he could technically
He
come
can
back.
maybe play.
And he got on protocol early enough that he still has a chance. He wasn't one of those guys that got put on protocol Thursday and it was way too late.
Yeah. So I mean, today's Wednesday. So I mean, he got put on yesterday, so he could, or Monday, he could have
Monday.
tested.
As long as he's
He could have
symptom-free.
But I just found it odd, too, that Stefanski had no update today, apparently, in his press conference. I don't know if he's being, like, coy about it, but, yeah, neither call.
Let's see if this is on the telemarketer. Hello, you're on YSN. Who is this?
Yeah, hey, is this Anthony? Hello?
Hello? Oh, they hung up.
Oh, he was looking for Anthony, and he
I
had
thought
you.
that was a prank call, so I didn't answer it. Oh, man. Is this Anthony?
Is this the Ramsey residence?
Is this the Ramsey residence? Running point a couple of days ago. It was, is this Anthony? What are you doing texting my girl at 1 o'clock in the morning?
And he's like, I'm just looking for a story.
Just looking for us. Hey, you got to wheel around somewhere, right?
I want to get a quote.
Rob, what's your spark today?
It was. It took me a minute, but I finally realized what Scotty was reminding me of, and it's actually Alan Hale Jr., aka the skipper from Gilligan's Island.
My wife said he looks like Hef.
Or Hef, yeah. No, I'm going with the skipper. The other thing, follow up yesterday. Everybody, stop reporting Facebook comments. All right, that's it.
Should I answer this phone again?
Yeah, see what they say.
You're on ysnlive.com. Who's this?
Yeah, hey, is this Anthony?
It sure is.
I'm waiting outside your door with your food.
All right, I'm gonna go get it. See you guys. I'm waiting outside the door with your food.
Yeah.
Showing
Mind if we dance with your dates? Oh man. Mine today is just I guess it's a negative spark. I mean, routines. I like routines. I like, keeping things. I mean, if anybody ever wanted to take me out, they'd know exactly how to do it because I got the same routine almost every day. But, being out here in the hallway and the gym going on and baseball bats flying around, I mean, it's exciting and everything because winter sports are getting ready and spring sports are getting ready to practice for their season. But, I mean, I like being in my room, having the show, doing a normal thing, and then doing that stuff afterwards. So we still got football going on. So these other sports need to calm down. Football's not over yet. So let's go.
Wasn't it your job to monitor that baseball practice? How did you get away with just chilling in the hallway?
The other coach is in there. So
well, peace out, guys. I got a show to run.
Yeah, they all know it too. So.
I'm going to go with a positive, and the positive is we have soccer on the network tonight, and it's a state semifinal matchup between Crestview and Oak Hills. I mean, that's an exciting night on YSN to say that you have a state semifinal proudly brought to you by the wonderful people over at 1,000 Bolts. They're the ones sponsoring this game. We couldn't be happier, to be driving down there with DJ and Jeff being down there for Crestview. So we wish the best of luck to the Rebels in their game tonight, and I think they have a good chance to bring home a state title, guys. I mean, they've scored more goals. This is unofficial. This is according to Max Preps, but if it's right, they have more goals than anyone's ever scored in the OHSA soccer season. 162 goals this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're a scoring machine out there, but I guess that'd be a negative spark for me as well. You have a state semifinal game, and you've got one team that's got to travel 2.5 hours, and the other team's got to travel 20 minutes
in the middle of the week on a school night.
Yeah, I mean that's
crazy.
That's just kind of unheard of, and kind of sad that the state would do that. Now I understand, from what I heard, this place that they're playing at is like a soccer mecca. I mean, it is all for soccer. This place is just that's all they built it for was for soccer. It's all tailored to it, and that's great and all, but. Listen, they play on football fields all year long. You can't tell me that there's not a football field or a stadium in between here and Toledo that they could have played on and left it a little easier for a state semifinal game for somebody to play. But you know what? Hopefully that's a chip on the shoulder for the Rebels, and they go up there and they win tonight. So.
I was talking to their coach last night. They have the school's credit card for lunch, so they're happy about that.
Hey. Swipe it, baby. Let's go.
They left at 11 a.m. They're taking a charter down there, so at least they're making a good experience out of the
up there. You keep saying down there. It's up there.
up. It's actually over there, right? It's to the west,
northwest. Yeah, so it's up and over.
Up and over. Up and over the woods. Grandmother's house. We go.
Yeah, but hey, they're looking to go down there. They want to go down to Columbus, right. So
that would be Saturday if they did win tonight.
Yep. So
once again, Jeff Bezos with the call down there, brought to you by our good friends at 1,000 Bolts. We look forward to that. That will do it for this edition of the Power Hour. Guys, thanks for having me for the host. It was good to be on. I haven't been on the Power Hour in quite some time, so it's good to be back.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Roll that banner.